2, 1. Nice. Ho, 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 I'm the realist. Do you like my shirt? Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Liza. I'm doing 12 days of Vlogmas, and today I wanted to talk about Santa. A little disclaimer before I get started here. If there's any chance that you have little ones in the room with you, pop in some headphones, maybe watch this later, because we're going to be spoiling some things. So, important question for you. When and how did you find out about Santa? Mike says he doesn't really remember how he found out, but in my family, the story of how I found out is a story. So I've heard it many times. I think I was about 5 or 6 and my family was on vacation and I had lost a tooth. And the whole time we were there, I was very concerned that Melissa, my tooth fairy, was not going to be able to find me and get my tooth and leave me money under my pillow. Apparently, we were at dinner and my little sister had skipped off to run to the bathroom or something. And I turned to my parents and I said, "Tell me the truth. Is the tooth fairy real?" And my mom said to me, "You know what? Because you were such a grown-up in the way that you asked me, I'm going to be honest with you." She said, "No, mommy and daddy are the tooth fairy." And apparently I sat back and took that in for a moment. And then a look crossed my face. And I said, "What about Santa?" Of course, I was sworn to secrecy and told not to tell my little sister. And I think I held out for a solid 3 months or something before she made me mad and I spoiled that secret for her. I have an aunt who started school a little bit earlier, so she was always a bit younger than the rest of her peers. And apparently, a teacher one day said to the whole class, "Raise your hand if you still believe in Santa Claus." And my aunt raised her hand and was the only one, and then sheepishly lowered it. Can you imagine? What a horrible way to find out. My nephew believed for a really long time. I think he was, my gosh, almost 10 probably. And I was babysitting, hanging out with him. And there was some website where you could write an email to Santa. So we were writing an email to Santa. And he said to me, "Liza, do you think that Santa is real?" And my 20-year-old brain kind of panicked for a moment, not wanting to be the one that ruined Santa for my nephew. And I just said, "What do you think?" And his response was, "My dad says that if I believe that Santa is real, then Santa is real." And I said, "I love that answer." Yeah, as a millennial parent, I really struggled with the entire concept of Santa, the tooth fairy, all these kind of made up things that you're supposed to tell your children. I really struggled with, I'm supposed to just lie to my kids for a few years about this weird thing. And for a little while, I thought maybe I wouldn't do it. Maybe I wouldn't tell the big Santa lie. But then, of course, you have kids. They get a little bit older. They get to that stage where everything is magical and wonderful. And all of a sudden, you've purchased a sparkly, magical fairy door that you have to set up every time they lose a tooth. Sydney is still full on in the believing stage. She's had a couple of times this year where she's kind of floated the idea of, is Santa real or not? But she still definitely wants to believe, so she does. Ella, on the other hand, I don't think believes in Santa anymore, but that's the problem. You can't just ask a kid, because then you're that teacher with my aunt, right? A few years ago, when we moved to the town that we live in now, and Ella was in kindergarten, so she was 5, she had been playing a lot with a couple of kids across the street, including a girl who was, I think, maybe 3 years older than she was. And it was around November, and Ella had seen a commercial for a toy that she liked. And she said, "Ooh, I really want that." And I said, "Okay, maybe we can put it on your list for Santa, or you can tell Santa when we see him." And she just said very nonchalantly, "Santa's not real." And I was like, what? Just the immediate panic. That moment is awful. The moment of, oh no, my kid knows the truth or suspects the truth and is asking me point blank to tell them the truth, it doesn't feel good. So I kind of said, what do you mean? And she said, oh, this girl told me over the summer. And the thing that was so heart-wrenching in that moment was, oh my gosh, this girl told you over the summer. That was months ago. You've just been carrying this around with you for that long. And you know, I'm not upset with this little girl. Kids do that all the time. But it felt young for Ella to not believe anymore. So I said that to her. I said, I'm so sorry that you've known this for so long and you didn't say anything. I tried to explain to her, and this was something I'd seen someone else talk about, a good way to kind of explain the Santa lie to your kids, of just talking about how it's part of the magic of Christmas. That's what Santa is. That's what makes him real. Is there a fat man who puts on a red suit and flies around the world and comes down your chimney? No. I mean, hopefully not. But do I get to play Santa every year and pick out and wrap gifts for you that I think you're going to love and then get to watch you open them? Yes. And it's part of the magic, and you have a little sister now, and we don't want to ruin it for any other kids, you know. And so I just had that kind of talk with her. And then I said, are you okay? Like, do you have any questions about it? And she said, no, I'm okay. I'm just a little confused because I thought you said we didn't have any secrets in this house. So that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. Just a real dagger to the heart. I felt really awful about it, but she seems to be okay. Plenty of kids have grown up with the Santa lie and then discovered the Santa lie and gone on to be wonderful functioning adults. So, trying to tell the mom guilt to be quiet. How did you find out about Santa? Do you remember it? Is it like a funny story? Did it traumatize you for the rest of your life? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a really quick one, but we've got some really great videos coming up to finish out Vlogmas, including right now, I'm gonna go do a whole day of baking. You gotta come with me and see all the fun treats that I make for some friends and some neighbors to spread some Christmas cheer. I am still so close to getting to 100 subscribers on this channel. So if you aren't subscribed, please consider just clicking that little subscribe button. So if you aren't subscribed, please consider hitting that little subscribe button, giving it a thumbs up, definitely leave a comment, all that good stuff. And I hope you're having an amazing day. He's got a sleigh full, it's not gonna stay full. He's got stuff to drop at every stop of the way. Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag, 'cause Christmas is here again. Okay, truck is gone.